I didn't know if I was going to go back to that church because it was just weird. That was a bizarre experience. It kind of reminded me of what Scientology does with spiritual auditing.
So this is very like Scientology. I mean, this is not the only cult that does this.
They have like hypnotic music and lights and stuff. I was like, dude, who brought MK Ultra into the church?
We get in the office with the therapist and he's totally like almost catatonic, closed off. And then I asked this woman, tell Trey about other clients you've had. And she goes into, well, I've treated MK Ultra victims. And I didn't know what I was like, what? And Trey suddenly came to and was like, oh, yeah. Okay. Like that earned his trust. And she had clients, like starting back in the 80s, who would be in session with her and they'd hear an ice cream truck and just go into a trance and follow the ice cream truck. And then go back and forth between like being a 3-year-old, a 30-year-old, a 15-year-old, like that multi-personality thing. Mm-hmm. So she's like, I've seen it all. And what's going on? And Trey's like, tell her about Kanakuk. So like I would tell about Kanakuk. You don't want to talk about it. And she's like, your symptoms are a lot like victims I've seen who survived satanic ritualistic abuse or like this MK Ultra stuff.
Why are we having to write down the names of people we've slept with?
Wait, hold on, Sean, hold on. Say that again. Slow down. You had to write what now?
Me and everybody who attended the Freedom Conference, which is, I guarantee you, derived from the body of work of Ted Haggard, we had to write down on note cards the names of every person we slept with.
And what was the purpose for this?
To leave these names at the feet of Jesus, which was a cross, a big wooden cross in the corner.
So it's called Crosstalk. And at camp, there'd be one night where there's like a bonfire, like a burning cross. And bonfire cross. And you nail your sins to the cross and everyone's weeping. These are like 7-year-old kids in some of the camps. And Joe White, when he's a double amputee now, he's physically unable to do this, but he used to like carry the cross and be Jesus. And then he would like use a chainsaw or an axe and like cut up a cross, build a cross, and like present the gospel message. And it triggered an emotional reaction in a lot of kids. So they were like, yes, I'll accept Christ. Yes, I don't want to go to hell. In my opinion, like kind of an unnecessary way to bring kids to Christianity. But they do a lot of that kind of stuff. And
the point is I leave and I'm researching all this because I had found out about Ted Haggard and the whole connection with Chris Hodges, who served as a youth pastor in that church, New Life in Colorado, along with Stockstill and the rest of the art guys. Like, I'm reading all about this history and I come across a guy, his name's Stovall Weems.
I'm not exaggerating. I'm not blowing smoke. It is real. Crime is real. Surveillance is real. So we're going to lay all of this out.
One thing we knew from the civil case is that Kanakuk would put PIs on the victims. And they would like pull their trash and surveillance them. And all these victims I've talked to, like so many of them are like, yeah, I was followed by a black SUV. That is so evil. That Kanakuk and their attorneys would surveillance victims. And they also set up a hotline in the wake of Pete's arrest that would report back to themselves. Like victim support at kanakuk.com. And then that's how they
shitting me.
That's how they grew their list of victims. Is like victim support at Kanakuk.com. It's still up on their website.
What wound up in the media was stolen, trafficked information from my wife's therapy sessions, her therapy sessions with her doctor in a private environment. And the News4Jax knew, it's in our allegations, they knew that we had alleged this is stolen private information that also contained my wife's medical information. News4Jax just ran with it. And I even went to the News4Jax station. They were warned personally by me. What did they do? Not only did they not take it down, they made it available for download to the public.
What the fuck?
Well, it's worse than that too. They had counselors in their network of counselors, and they would send people to this guy, and then things that a victim would say in their counseling session, thinking it's confidential. Hello, HIPAA. Things they would have only told that counselor come up in depositions.
Holy shit.